I'm sorry. Were you getting up? Did I call your name? Oh, okay. You're not Michael Sussman. Okay. Lindy Urso? Okay.
Good morning. My name's Lindy Urso. I am from Koskob, father of 3 young boys, and I'm a practicing criminal attorney. And as I sit here today pondering how we got to this point in this country where we could be this close to having the government be able to force injections on our babies or on our own skin, I'm struck by this idea that we can sacrifice the individual for the greater good. Our country has become the greatest country in the history of the world, recorded history, for the exact opposite reasons, because we value individual liberty. That's what this country is all about. It's why, for instance, the Fourth Amendment, if somebody's arrested, we will gladly let a guilty person go free if his Fourth Amendment rights were violated, just solely to protect the sanctity of the individual rights. It's why we have Roe versus Wade. That is the entire basis of this country. Individual liberty, not sacrificing the individual for the greater good. It's the exact opposite. I honestly, I mean, I'm flabbergasted. We've got 96% vaccination rates. We've got a corrupt pharmaceutical industry. We've got no outbreaks in forever, and we're talking about this. It's just bizarre to me. I know Senator Anwar, Senator Ritter have talked a lot about the whole reason we have to do this is to protect the immunocompromised. Well, if that's really the issue, if that's such a serious concern, where are the parents of the immunocompromised people? Why aren't they here filling these rooms, right? The only parent I saw today of the immunocompromised was here tonight or a couple hours ago, and in support, strongly against this bill. So I think that's just a lame excuse for, I don't know what the motives are behind this, but that certainly isn't it. There's no basis to suggest that a healthy, unvaccinated child is a danger to anybody except Pharma. I think the real reason we're here is because of the incestuous orgy of greed and self-interest. You've got Pharma and the CDC. It's a revolving door. It always has been. Currently, Merck's head of vaccines was Julie Gerberding, former head of the CDC. That's just one example. Members of ACIP, the key committee that actually is responsible for developing the schedule, the ever-increasing schedule, they work for the vaccine makers. One of them, Paul Offit, owns a patent for the rotavirus, and he consults for all the major vaccine makers. To answer Representative Zupkis's question to Dr. Hale, why did it go like this? It went like this because after the Congress immunized the vaccine companies from lawsuits, they took that as a license to sail. So
I'm sorry. I was just going to ask you to wrap it up, please.
And then just specifically here, we all know about Representative Ritter's connections with Boehringer Ingelheim. His father's a paid lobbyist for Boehringer Ingelheim. They are in the human vaccine business. They're partners in the WHO program, Human Vaccines Project. And then we've got Representative Linehan, the yin to Mr. Ritter's yang in this campaign. Her husband actually works for the same company. It's bizarre. So I urge you all to come to your senses and vote this down. Thank you.
Thank you. Representative Cherziak.
Thank you very much. I just wanted to speak up for the parents of immunocompromised children and their absence from here. I believe the reason they're not here is because the building has a couple hundred people who haven't been immunized.
Did they call your office and
I said I believe it. That
Okay.
must make it true.
I got you.
That's what we've been hearing for hours and hours and hours. But thank you very much for coming. I'm sorry for starting that, going off script there. Thank you.
Thank you.
Here's one thing we can all agree on. Connecticut public schools are great.
I don't know about that with Common Core, but go ahead.
Because One thing this is about is people's ability to have their children go to Connecticut public schools. We have heard Connecticut public schools hundreds of times, it seems, today. But we're not here to talk about that. I thought I had something we had in common, regardless of which side of this debate you were on. And if we do, it's not that. Thank you very much for coming, and thank you for your patience. Thank you, Madam
Thank
Chair.
you. Are there any other questions or comments? Thank you very much for your testimony tonight.
Thank you.
Next is